What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to Sportskeeda MMA News. Conor McGregor plummets 34 spots down the Forbes list of highest paid athletes. Holm returns from a 19-month layoff to resume her hunt for gold. Lerone Murphy was hospitalized after being involved in an accident. Michel Pereira gets hit with a DUI charge in Las Vegas. Is Charles Oliveira the new lightweight GOAT? Khabib says not so fast to that narrative. All that and more on today's episode of Sportskeeda MMA News. As always, we'd like to remind you to blast that like button if you see any of your favorite fighters mentioned in today's video. Now let's get to today's roundup. Last year's biggest earner in sports, Conor McGregor took a massive plunge in this year's Forbes list of highest paid athletes. After landing at the top spot of the prestigious list in 2021, it appears that the following year wasn't as lucrative for the UFC superstar. McGregor finds himself in 35th place, while industry giants Lerone Murphy, LeBron James and Cristiano Ronaldo kept their spots in the top 5. According to Forbes, McGregor made $43 million this year. Here's how Forbes broke down the Irishman's earnings. $33 million reportedly came from his trilogy bout with Dustin Poirier last July. The Irishman made another $10 million in endorsements and sponsorships. McGregor's ranking was a massive decline, but far from a surprising one. Of course, the former UFC champ accumulated a huge portion of his wealth in 2021 through the sale of his whiskey company, Proper No. 12. That deal, along with his lone fight in 2020 and his sponsorships, netted him a total of $180 million. Surprisingly, just 10 spots below McGregor is his nemesis Jake Paul. The YouTube star turned professional boxer made his debut on the list by raking in at $38 million. While this is a measly amount compared to his previous year's cash out, the Irishman remains to be the richest MMA fighter of all time. The Dublin native is currently on the road to recovery as he eyes an octagon return this year. UFC President Dana White said in a recent interview that McGregor could be back in the cage sometime in the fall. Do you think McGregor could climb back into the higher end of the Forbes list by the same time next year? Let us know what you think by leaving a comment down below. Former UFC Women's Bantamweight champion Holm believes she's still primed for another title run. The Preacher's daughter is set to make her long-awaited comeback in the main event of UFC Fight Night 206 against Vieira. However, her return fight is expected to be anything but easy, as Holm is coming off of a 19-month hiatus, the longest layoff she's ever been on. Nonetheless, the 40-year-old is confident she's got one more run in her career. During an interview with MMA Junkie, here's what Holm had to say.
I have to win regardless because I hate to lose anyway. I just hate to lose, period. No matter what's on the line. Whether I'm in practice training, I want to win the rounds when I'm in training. If I'm in front of 2 people, if I'm in front of 2 million, if I'm in front of the whole world, I want to win. I hate to lose. And so that's number one. I want to get in there and I want to win Saturday. But also, as far as a career, if you don't win, your next steps and your next options are never as many as you want, or they're more limited, and you take a step back, not a step forward. So yes, in the long run, I need this win so that I can keep progressing forward because I want to get to the belt.
Holm rose to prominence by becoming the first fighter to expose Ronda Rousey as a mere mortal. The Preacher's daughter KO'd the seemingly indomitable Rousey at UFC 193 back in 2015. However, her own reign as women's bantamweight champion was short-lived. Holm went on to drop the title to Miesha Tate in her very next fight. Holm spent the next few years going back and forth between wins and losses. Right now though, she's on a 2-fight winning streak, her longest since 2015. Do you think Holm could return to her former glory in the current landscape of the women's bantamweight division? Lerone Murphy is in hospital after the featherweight was involved in a serious accident on the road. Taking to Instagram, Murphy posted a photo of himself in the hospital claiming he collided with a speeding car while cycling. His post was accompanied by a caption explaining how he ended up there. Here's what Murphy had to say. FFS, I can't catch a break. Another near-death experience. Yesterday while cycling, an oncoming car turned right without looking and we collided at speed, which caused a nasty head wound. The ambulance took 45 minutes to arrive, which nearly caused me to bleed out. I'm here still breathing for greater purpose, clearly. Murphy, of course, is no stranger to life-threatening experiences. Back in 2013, the British fighter survived a gunshot to the face in Manchester. To the face! According to Murphy, he was gunned down outside a barbershop by a lone shooter who approached him and fired 3 bullets into his face and neck. It was a miracle that he survived then, thus earning him the nickname The Miracle. Murphy's last bout was in October 2021. With this new injury, one could speculate when he would return to the octagon. Sportskeeda MMA is wishing you a speedy recovery, Lerone Murphy. We hope to see you back in the cage soon. From one vehicular crash to another, Michel Pereira was reportedly charged with a DUI case in Las Vegas earlier this year. The acrobatic welterweight claimed it wasn't his fault though. During an interview with MMA Fighting, Pereira explained that he wasn't even planning on taking the wheel when the incident took place. According to the Brazilian, he was asleep in the passenger seat while a friend was driving the car. However, he suddenly woke up due to a sudden impact. His friend, however, reassured him they didn't crash and it was only a close call. At that point, Pereira said he decided to take over, believing he had already gotten enough rest. Unfortunately, he was pulled over by the Las Vegas police shortly thereafter. Recounting the events of the incident, here's what the 28-year-old had to say.
I was half asleep on a sunny day in Las Vegas, so I looked at the car and didn't see anything in regards to damage. I told him, "I've rested enough already, give me the car and I'll drive." The police pulled me over sometime later and did all the procedures and asked me about the crash. That's when I saw the crash. It almost gave me depression.
Pereira revealed that his lawyer is handling the situation now and he doesn't expect to have any more issues with the law. Fortunately, his ongoing troubles won't affect his co-main event bout with Santiago Ponzinibbio, which will take place in Las Vegas on Saturday. Do you think Michel Pereira's performance will somehow be affected by his recent run-in with the law? Chime in with your thoughts in the comments section. With Charles Oliveira going on a stellar run over the past several months, the narrative that he's the new lightweight GOAT has been a huge talking point in the MMA community. However, former UFC 155-pound kingpin Khabib Nurmagomedov has something to say about that. Speaking with Brett Okamoto of ESPN, the Eagle explained why he doesn't believe Oliveira has already surpassed his legacy as lightweight champion. As far as Khabib is concerned, Oliveira gets hit and knocked down too often for his liking. With that being the case, Khabib said there's no way he's the GOAT. Here's what the future Hall of Famer had to say.
He impressed me like a little bit, but every fight he go down, This one is like a little bit bad for him, Every fight he go down couple times. Last fight it was like how many? 2-3 times knockdown with Michael Chandler, with Dustin Poirier, with Justin Gaethje. He always go down. This is like a little bit question, Nobody ever touched my face, and all the time he go down, people cannot talk about like compare me versus Charles Oliveira. He tapped in UFC 8 times. Please come on.
Over his last 3 fights, getting knocked down early and bouncing back has been Oliveira's calling card. While many admire Do Bronx for his resilience, Nurmagomedov is of the opinion that it isn't a good look for the former champ. Do you think Khabib is still the lightweight GOAT? If so, what does Charles Oliveira have to do to surpass him? That about sums it up for today's edition of Sportskeeda MMA News. Here are some of the best comments from today. Burn's stock has gone way up after the Hamzat fight. Look forward to seeing him. He, Islam, can't beat Beneil. Khabib had a flaw. He saw Do Bronx on the horizon and said to himself, I can't beat him, so I'm retiring from the sport before the world sees me losing. If you like this video, please like, comment and share. Your comments could be featured in the next Sportskeeda MMA News video. We always deliver daily content, so make sure you subscribe and hit that bell, so you don't want to miss anything going on in the MMA world. For updates, quotes and exclusive interviews from all your favorite fighters, follow Sportskeeda MMA on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for watching.